December 23rd, 2016. The festive season was in full swing, twinkling lights on every street, carols filling the air, and families preparing for Christmas Eve. Carrie Fisher, the iconic Princess Leia of Star Wars, was among the millions celebrating in her own quiet way. Known for her wit, her resilience, and her unflinching honesty about life, mental health, and her Hollywood journey, Carrie was a beacon of courage for so many. That day, she boarded a flight, just another trip, carrying her signature humor and sharp observations with her. Friends and family expected the usual banter, the sparkling commentary on life, and the absurdities of fame. But mid-flight, tragedy struck. Carrie suffered a massive heart attack. Hours later, the news broke. Carrie Fisher, the princess who had inspired generations, had passed away. The world paused. Social media flooded with disbelief, grief, and remembrance. Fans posted images of her in Star Wars, laughing on talk shows, speaking openly about her struggles, always with unyielding honesty. Celebrities shared personal memories, moments when she had been the voice of truth, of courage, of vulnerability. Her death so close to Christmas, a time often reserved for joy and celebration, made the loss even more palpable. Homes decorated with lights and ornaments now carried a sense of emptiness for those who had grown up idolizing her. Yet, Carrie's legacy was more than her films. It was her fearlessness, her ability to speak truth to power, her humor that cut through darkness, and the comfort she gave countless people facing their own struggles. As Christmas arrived, fans lit candles, hung ornaments in her memory, and revisited her films, her interviews, and her writing. Carrie Fisher's passing reminded the world that even heroes are human, and that joy and tragedy often coexist, especially during the holidays. But through grief, there was gratitude for her laughter, her honesty, and the courage to live her truth until the very end. The princess may have left, but her spirit, her voice, and her legacy continued to shine through the holiday lights, whispering to fans everywhere. Life, love, and courage are gifts to cherish every day. December 25th, 2016. The world awoke to a quiet that felt unthinkable. George Michael, the voice that had defined a generation, had passed away on Christmas morning at his home in Oxfordshire, England. Just hours earlier, the festive season had seemed no different than any other. Lights twinkling, songs playing on the radio, families gathering. But for millions of fans, that morning brought heartbreak. George Michael wasn't just a pop star, he was an icon. From the infectious energy of Wham! To his soulful solo hits, his music had been the soundtrack to birthdays, summer nights, heartbreaks, and celebrations across decades. Yet behind the fame and glitz, George faced private battles, struggles with health, privacy, and personal demons that few truly knew. As news of his death spread, social media flooded with shock, grief, and memories. Fans shared their favorite songs, concerts, and personal stories of how his music had touched them. Candles were lit in living rooms, playlists were turned on, and strangers joined together in shared mourning. The irony of losing a voice that had brought so much joy on Christmas, a time of family and music, deepened the sense of loss. Media outlets recounted his life, chart-topping albums, sold-out tours, humanitarian efforts, and his influence on LGBTQ plus visibility in pop culture. Interviews resurfaced, revealing George's wit, charm, and vulnerability. Yet, despite all the attention, there was a somber truth. This was a man who often carried his pain alone, quietly, until the very end. But in death, as in life, George Michael's music remained. From Last Christmas to Careless Whisper, every note echoed more poignantly. Fans revisited lyrics with new understanding, feeling the blend of melancholy and beauty that had always defined his work. Christmas gatherings, once filled with the sound of celebration, now carried the bittersweet reminder of his absence, but also the enduring gift of his artistry. In homes across the globe, people found solace in his voice, in the melodies that had accompanied their own lives. George Michael's passing on Christmas did not dim the music. It made it sacred, a reminder that even in silence, his spirit would be heard. And while the world mourned, it also remembered. A true artist never truly leaves, because every song, every note, every memory lives on in the hearts of those who loved him. As Christmas approached, Hollywood was glowing with lights, memories, and traditions. But in December 2019, the season carried a quieter sadness. Diane Carroll, legendary actress, singer, and trailblazer, was gone. She passed away after a long battle with cancer, just days before Christmas, leaving behind a legacy that reshaped American television and film forever. Diane Carroll was more than a star. She was history in motion. In 1968, she broke barriers as the first black woman to star in her own television series, Julia, portraying a professional, confident, independent woman at a time when such representation was nearly unheard of. For millions, especially young black women, she was proof that the screen could finally reflect dignity, intelligence, and grace. As news of her passing spread, tributes poured in from across generations. Actors, musicians, and fans remembered not just her talent, but her elegance, how she carried herself with poise even in an industry that often denied her equal recognition. Her voice, smooth and commanding, had filled concert halls. Her presence had transformed stages and screens alike. The timing of her death made the loss feel heavier. Christmas is a season of warmth, family, and reflection. And for many, Diane Carroll had long been a symbol of refinement and strength during holiday broadcasts, classic films, and televised specials. To lose her so close to the holidays felt like losing a guiding light, just as the year was ending. As Christmas arrived, fans revisited her performances, her interviews, her music. They remembered her laughter, her honesty, and her unwavering belief in self-worth. Diane Carroll may have left this world as the year drew to a close, but her impact did not dim. Like holiday lights against the winter night, her legacy continued to glow, soft, steady, and impossible to forget. She was not just a star of her era. She was a beacon, and even at Christmas, when the world paused to mourn, her light remained.